So I had a client who had erectile dysfunction. He came to me because he saw one of my ads and he saw that, there was a possibility, and he had ran out all of his possibilities. He had seen every doctor, he had taken every drug, he had spent all the money, and he had no luck with his erectile dysfunction. And he had it for a couple years, and he was only in his 30s. So this kind of erectile dysfunction that he had was extreme, to the point that he never got a morning wood, he couldn't jerk off, he never had sex, he literally did not get erect for 2 years. And he's in his 30s, so it's pretty traumatizing. So I had never, at this point, never experienced this before and didn't know if I could help him or not. But I thought, so far, the things that I've helped my clients with through energy healing and spiritual healing, like all of them at one point I'd never been faced with. I never had tried. And then, it was just a matter of attempting and then having success. I mean, obviously it's not 100% all the time that I can heal a person, but it's more often than not. And I'd say it's, it's somewhere around like 85% or so. I remember we had completed his massage. So I infused the spiritual healing into this full body massage, full body besides like obviously like the no-go zones. It's a professional massage, and it just has all these different parts that do certain things to heal and cleanse the body and the spiritual body, the soul, and the energetic body. So at the very end, I remember he was laying on his back and he had a blanket covering him, but he didn't have any underwear on, and he was just laying there, blanket covering him, and I placed my left hand on his solar plexus, like just underneath his chest down here. And my right hand, I just relaxed and let go. And I have this kind of gift that God gave me where if I just submit to God, then my hands will start moving on their own and healing the person as however they need. And I really don't know what I'm doing. So my right hand floated down to my right hip, and it started making circles on its own. And so it's hanging off to my side. It's not touching him. And then it was making circles. And after a few circles, the blanket started rising. So he started pitching a tent, if you know what I mean. And every circle I would make with my hand, it would just go. And I was just like in awe, because like my right hand was, probably a couple feet or whatever, maybe 1.5 feet away from him. And then my left hand was on near his chest, and I just held it there. And afterwards I asked him just like, how'd you feel? Like, what was that all about? Like, what was it like for you? And he said, it felt like you had this imaginary, like, I know you didn't have a string on me, but it felt like there was like some sort of imaginary string wrapped around my penis, and you were trying to make it get up. It was like you were pulling on the string and you're like, get up, get up. So we had a handful more sessions, but he now is back to his usual business, and everything's, normal with him. One that really stands out in my mind, I'm going to finish this video off with, is one that I did over the phone. So he was referred to me, just because it's so different, because it's over the phone. So he was referred to me, and he reached out to me, and he told me that, he just was having issues, and he was young, like he was in his 20s, I think late 20s, and he was having issues in his sexual life, and he just wasn't able to, or was really struggling to. I think he might have said he wasn't able to get off. It wasn't so much that he couldn't get up, he couldn't stay up, and he couldn't ejaculate. And so he reached out to me. We did over the phone healing. I had never done that before for that issue, so I didn't know if it would work, but it did. And so he got hard, nothing happening, like no one touching him. He's all the way over in a city that was like, I think he lived about 7 hours away from me. And yeah, he just said, like, I don't know, it just, whatever. I mean, you have to experience it to understand it. Like, energy healing, faith healing, the power of God is just, like, unbelievable when you're able to. You can do amazing things. And so it was working, but we did a few sessions, and I just felt like he was super needy. And I noticed that he had told me, like, I used to have a healer, a tantric energy healer girl that pretty much, I think they were, like, having sex or something, I don't know, but, like, he was coming in, like, ejaculating during her sessions. I don't know what they were exactly doing in the session, but it sounded very, very intimate. And he said, like, that was the only time he could really come. And so what I've discovered through my own, like, spiritual communication gifts that I have was that he had just created more so an addiction to spiritual healers and ejaculating through some sort of spiritual healer doing it for him. And it's the same, like, some people, like, become addicted to, like, oh, like, I have to, like, come by watching porn, or, like, I don't know, doing some weird kinky shit. Like, sometimes people just develop these addictions to, like, that's the way I need to come. So he actually was trying to push me to get him to ejaculate over the phone with me by me provoking him by either saying something, or he wanted me to talk to him, like, and I was like, man, I'm not a phone call girl, like, or call girl or whatever, or whatever those girls do when they talk dirty to you. I'm like, I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not doing that. So you can hang up the phone and do what you want to do, but you got to learn how to do this on your own. Like, this is not for me to do for you all the time. Like, you're supposed to get better so that you can be in a relationship with someone and have a healthy sex life. So I told him his best bet was that if you really loved all this energy work, was to go and find a girl who's in this field and be with her, not so much have to pay her for her services and then get off that way. So yeah, I stopped seeing him, but I did. I was able to arouse him somehow through the energy healing long distance across our state or province. So those are really my main stories about healing erectile dysfunction through energy, spiritual, faith healing. And hopefully it was interesting for you. And if you are struggling with erectile dysfunction, I hope that you seek out an energy healer, or if you need to, reach out to me, then I will obviously have my information linked below. But I know that a lot of people struggle with this, and sometimes it's just an energy blockage. It's just a spiritual issue, and that's why you can't figure out the cure for it, or why you can't get any help. It's like you need to go the spiritual route. So anyways, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then like it or subscribe, and have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.